Hey everyone, it's Rachel and I'm here with another process video. I'm going to be working with my August 2017 Clique Kit, which features the Pink Paislee line Summer Lights. You might notice I have a bunch of thickers here. I thought it would be fun to do a layout where I use a bunch of different thickers, and my plan is, what I did is I looked up a bunch of words that have the letter X in them, and because my cat's name begins with the letter X, do some sort of feature where I feature the letter X. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, put you on fast forward, and move through this layout, obviously. So gonna go ahead and put you on fast forward, and
Oops, I cut myself off before I managed to finish speaking there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I think I want to use this this paper, which has the multicolor overlay over the floral photorealistic paper, and these are all from the Pink Paislee Summer Lights collection. So before I do that, I had thought about doing a giant X with two branding strips as part of my design element, and I do end up doing that. I'm just auditioning different branding strips to see what will work best, and I'm going to do something to them that I wish I hadn't done, but looking back at it before I did it, I like it better, but I'm not going to flip out. I consider using the B side of this paper, which is the grid, but I decide no right away. I'm like, nope, I like this better. So I think about using this polka dot with this varied stripe, and then maybe this tone-on-tone purple, or this more regulated stripe, and I decide the purple and the variegated, that's not, variegated is what I'm actually looking for. I'm mixing up the word variegate and variation. I don't know why. Anyways, I'm going to leave those like that for a bit while I work on layers for behind my photo. So I'm going to map my photo with this scrap of paper I have that looks like a pool water, but then once again, it's colored unrealistically. So I'm going to map that, and I consider using that striped paper as a layer, but I'm going to go with a no on that. Instead, I'm going to do an offset layer with this pink paper, and then use this picture of the unnaturally colored sky, and use that as a third full layer for my photo. I'm going to actually remember to ink up my layers using Hickory Smoke Distress Ink by Tim Holtz and Ranger. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry, guys. I am having such problems with words today. Hoi. Alright. I'm going to ink up all of my papers with the Hickory Smoke ink. So I've been really into inking all of my papers lately. It's not like I've never done it before. I go kind of through phases, and I hadn't been doing it for a while, but now apparently I'm really into it. So I decide to go ahead and ink up these two branding strips, and I'm thinking about whether or not I like the X, and I do. Once all the words go over it, it's not as noticeable, but what I really wish I hadn't done was inked up the edges of it, which makes it more noticeable. I think it would have been far less, it would have just been a little hint of something in the background if I hadn't inked them up. But, hindsight's 20/20, and it's already done, and I don't hate it or anything like that. It's just, I don't think it adds to the layout is more than anything. So I'm just kind of holding it in place and running my ATG down, and then whatever sticks up outside of the branding behind the branding strip, I just rub off with my fingers. That's the one good thing about using ATG, is if you get it outside of where you want it, it just rub off quite easily. Once I get that down, it is going to be time to work on, I have to get my photo down too, haha. Once I do that, I decide to add a doily, and this is from Michaels. I actually bought a whole set of them as part of, oh sugar, I was going to make a banner for someone at work. So I have a ton of them left over. So I'm about to start working on my title, and what I'm going to do is kind of skip through when I'm placing down the words, but if I do something else, because I'm going to do kind of title and then tuck embellishments behind it, so I'm going to go back and forth. So before I actually start working on the words, I had wanted to use some of these, I believe they're at 1.5 by 1.5 squares. Of course, if they're squares, they're 1.5 by 1.5. Oi! I wanted to pull out a couple of these, and so that they'd be ready to go when it got to time to place them, because I'm going to tuck some of them behind my words. I knew I'd get there one day. Words, that was the word I couldn't think of. Oi! Alright, so I pull out that sun, and then one that says hey girl hey, and then another one that says play all day. And I'm going to place them in the areas as to where the colors in the background paper are. And I've written down the words that I'm going to use, and now what I'm just doing is I'm trying to line them up so I don't have two, because I've got two words that begin with un, I've got two words that end with able, and so I didn't want those matching up. And then I've got two words that end with the letter X, so I wanted to spread those apart. I do get a little mixed up, not mixed up, due to the fonts I've chosen, one does not have the letters I need for it to have. So I'm going to start off with these pink alphas, and these are in the font Alex, and they're from an Amy Tangerine line, and with the word exhausting. And then below that, I'm going to be using some, should I go below or above? I go above this time. Okay, I'm going to be using the alphas that came with the Summer Lights collection. They also came in the Clique Kit for August. And behind that, I add the little emoji guy with the sunglasses. And then I'm going to move on to these turquoise, no, sorry, I believe, no, it is a turquoise. These turquoise Fitzgerald, and those came out with a Chamel line, I don't remember which. And now I'm going to start to use the word excitable in this, it's also Alex, this one is just a chipboard with a silver stripe, and I put it out, and I realize, no, you silly, then you have excitable and unexplainable in a row, and just having the able two things in a row was going to annoy me. I also pull out the Color Cast Design palm frond acrylic pieces that came with the Clique Kit, and I'm going to use those in different spots on the page too. Now those came, there were three of them, and they came in three different colors, pink, aqua, and yellow, and if I had been thinking, I would have put them in the same color families like I did with the holographic papers, and I think I would have liked it better, but it's fine. It's cute. I like it. No big deal. So I'm once again going through my words because I've realized I don't want excitable and unexplainable up there together. So I pull excitable back, but I don't want to use excitable down below because color-wise it isn't going to work. And to go below exhausting, I'd have the same problem with the EX being two in a row. So I decide, instead of using that font for excitable, I will use it for paradox, and then I'm actually very happy because using it for excitable means I'd used up my last two E's in that font, and that made me very sad because it happens to be one of my absolute favorite fonts. I have moved on to unorthodox, which I originally misspell. When I take my picture, I realize it's misspelled, and I fix it, so it is fixed now. And then I add from that sticker sheet that came in the kit that pink ombre wood grain tag. And I'm going to place one of the acrylic pieces from Color Cast Design on top of that. And originally I had picked that White Alpha by Amy Tan, but I realized I didn't have any E's in it, which is usually what happens, is like, oh sugar, I need an E and I no longer have one. So instead I moved to this smaller hot pink one, hot pink glitter thicker, not thicker, well, it's a thicker, just not, it's by Heidi Swap, not from American Crafts. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm having very big verbal issues apparently today, so I apologize for that. Anyway, I'm going to cut out this camera that is a neon style, and that is going to go just to the left of the word excitable. And then I am also going to finish off my title. Oh, no, I'm going to do a little embellishing first. At first I think I want this longer sticker, but I don't like it with it going across the X of the branding strips behind. So I choose this little diagonal striped arrow instead. And now I'm going to finish off the title using these Stylist font thickers, and these came with a Maggie Holmes line. I do not remember which. And I'm going to tuck that Play All Day cut apart behind that, and that will finish off my title. And I believe those stickers are called Stylist. I remember I do want to ink up the edges of that cut apart camera, and I'm going to get that down, and I'm also going to get down all 3 of my Color Cast acrylic pieces, and then I'm also going to glue down that word paradox because it is chipboard, so I do not trust it to actually stay glued down. Whew, made it through all of the thicker editions. Okay, I'm going to trim up stuff that's hanging off my page, and then I decide I'm not really going to do a huge amount of embellishing beyond what I've already done. Shockingly enough, I am going to pull from the thicker packs a couple different asterisks that came in each of the pack, both of the Alex, the pink, and the silver stripe, and then those silver Fitzgerald ones. Once I do that, the only thing I am going to do is add some enamel dots once I do my journaling, which is very, very small because basically my stickers are going as my journaling. Oh, and I do add some Concrete Shimmers Mist. I believe it's a Shimmerings. It's a silver gray color. So my journaling was simply, you are all of these things and more. So, like I said, I did not write a lot. So once I do that, I decide what I really want are some enamel dots, and I'm just going to scatter them throughout my layout. I have some heart-shaped ones that came from the Cocoa Vanilla You Rock? Totally Rad? Yeah, Totally Rad line. And then I also pull out some, oh no, they're all from the Totally Rad line. Some of them are hearts and some of them are circles, like the regular enamel dot shape. I do not know why the words are so hard for me today. I apologize, ladies, and if there are some gentlemen, I apologize to you too. Alright, folks, if you could flick me a thumbs up, even though my voiceover was a bit random, I would super appreciate that. Have a great day, everyone. There are close-ups coming up, so bye!